Hey, everybody, and you blew it. Thank you. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Weird Beer Reviews. I am John,
I'm Callie.
and we are drinking beer today. Uh, Same as usual.
Same as every day.
Exactly. I honestly have no idea what we're drinking today. Usually we at least kind of figure it out and look at it. We just bought this today,
This was
and
like the last one we grabbed. Like
yeah,
we left with like a box full of beer today.
yeah.
And this one we were just kind of like, oh, I'll grab that one. It sounds interesting.
So, well, why don't you tell me what we're drinking so that you can bring me up to speed along with everybody else?
Oh, I'm in charge. We are drinking Caramel Crisp Caramel Popcorn Ale by Revolution Brewing.
Caramel popcorn ale.
Yes.
All
Now,
right.
I'm going to tell you why I was interested in it. Other than like the flavor, caramel corn, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I love that it's baseball themed.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like the little, I don't know where you can see or not.
What is it? I can't say it.
Playing baseball.
No, that's just somebody making caramel corn. In one of those big.
But she's wearing a baseball shirt.
She's wearing a baseball hat.
And what she,
Here.
oh, it's an
You gotta show
apron.
the- yeah,
It's not
yeah.
a-
It's
I was wrong on all accounts.
yeah.
I got excited. I thought that was a baseball bat because it makes me think of Cracker Jacks of like
Yeah.
caramel corn. And so that was why I think my brain just automatically went to baseball.
A staple of baseball
Yeah,
games.
like you have to. That was the best part, like when you were a kid, about going to baseball
You
games.
notice that the food that are the most like popular baseball games are just like kids' foods in general.
Yeah,
It's hot dogs and cotton candy and like
that's like all sports though.
not you don't I don't see people at football games like with big old things of cotton candy running around and
It's
like
because it's too cold. Well, here it's too cold.
but even like you don't see it. You watch Monday Night Football, they're in a dome and nope, no, there's no cotton candies. I mean, yeah, there's hot dogs, there's nachos, there's
I bet it exists. I bet there's people eating cotton candy at football games.
Move that gigantic cotton candy. God damn it! How's the view from Sugar Heaven?
I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but it's just it is such a large part of the experience
Yeah.
when you go to a baseball game.
That's how you get kids to sit through baseball games, though.
I would feel that dumping sugar into their system would be the opposite of
Well, you
getting
just
them to.
like keep them eating, and so they sit still. It's like when you take them to the movies.
Yeah, but they just vibrate out of their seat at some point.
Well, yeah, but you don't care at that point because you've had enough beers.
Hopefully. I mean, I don't know. They stopped serving in like the seventh inning.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Wasn't that an issue?
It's an issue for me. I mean, I don't know who else it's an issue for.
Because they shut down in the seventh inning, and then there was like no food and no beer for like a whole almost
Do you
length
think-
of a game.
Do you think they consider reopening? Like they're like, well, if we make it to the 12th inning, like we're just gonna let
At
this
point
place
because
just fall apart.
by then it would probably like the game would end at that inning.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're like in 15 innings, I mean, you can't.
It's wild, man.
I don't know. I don't know how you expect people to stay into it for an extra 6 innings. It's still baseball, and mind you, I love baseball.
Yeah.
But that is a lot of baseball to continue to sit through.
It really is without any like food or
Yeah.
beverages.
You're just
or
sitting there staring.
just sitting there with your anxiety. Just
You're just staring at a man throw a ball at another man with 70,000 other people and just gasping or booing every so often.
Yeah.
It's just.
so I was wrong. It's not baseball.
But it does.
But
it does
it-
have connections.
Baseball memories. It is brewed by Revolution Brewing, which it's in Chicago.
Mhm.
They are celebrating their 10-year anniversary this year,
Okay. Well, there you go. There's something.
and they just purchased a new building to have like a secondary location.
Which neighborhood is it in?
I don't know.
Is it in the Loop? Is it on the Mile?
I think
Boys
we've
Town?
been there
Chinatown?
enough. We've
South Side?
been there enough. It sounds like the South Side. Some Shameless.
Is that where that takes place?
think-
I've
I think so.
only seen a handful of episodes. Oh, it's a good show. I mean, clearly it
Good
is.
show.
When it's on Showtime forever.
Is it Showtime?
Yes, it was. Chicago's a great place in general.
It's kind of an island too. Like it's weird how Chicago to me is always kind of separate from the state itself. There's like it's like New York. There's like New York City and then there's like New York as a whole. Like
Right.
there it's very different.
Well, I think any state that has a huge metropolis and a major city like
Yeah.
that, it seems like that's what happens. You get the enormous metropolis in the middle of
That
it,
focus.
and then everything outside of it is just completely different from
Yeah.
it. It's all, it's cornfields or it's mountains. I mean, even look at California. You've got a whole bunch of staple cities, but
Yeah.
like you get up into wine country and everything, and a lot of
vineyard
it
for
it's just
days.
so different.
Can't wrap my
Right.
head around California though. The size of California, like
Yeah.
the fact that like we can drive from one end of our state to the other end of our state in like a matter of hours.
5 hours.
California, it's like a day trip. Like it's the whole
Yeah.
just one direction.
That's what makes you beautiful.
Well, you think how big Florida is too.
Yeah.
Like, to go from the top to the bottom of Florida, it's like the same amount of time going from like Ohio to Florida,
Yeah.
which is insane. Like, does it?
Crazy.
I don't know. Country's much bigger, I think, than people give it credit for sometimes.
It really is. It really is.
All right, so we're having some caramel corn.
Having some caramel corn.
I'm not gonna. You're gonna yell at me about looking for the percentage this time, or is this my turn?
I already looked at it.
Okay, well it's gonna be.
I didn't mean to.
It's okay. I will do the
Okay.
wagering.
I got
What
two.
kind of beer is it?
Okay, so that's a great question because I didn't know. I just
Thank
grabbed
you.
it.
I specialize in great questions.
It does. It's an ale. So,
Oh,
duh. I guess I said that.
so beer.
But it's yeah, it's
Beer
basically-
flavored.
It's a creme brulee like sweetness, lightly salted finish.
I like the idea of lightly salted. You get like those caramels with sea
Yeah,
salt.
kind of balances.
The best thing in the world. Something I just thought of. I would like to try a salty beer. If somebody knows of a salty beer, something that has like I don't know if there's like a pretzel taste to it or what there would be. I know that there's like pretzel beers, but I'm talking like a legitimate
Like
salty, like you're like, oh my god, there's salt in there. I mean, I don't know.
Drank a bag of potato chips.
I don't want to. It's just weird because I'm not even a big fan of salt. And my regular, I never put it on food. Even like pretzels are too much for me. To quote Seinfeld, these pretzels are making me thirsty.
You
But-
need a salty beer to wash them down
I
with.
guess I'm just curious. I'm more interested in if that's doable and what the taste would be like on something like that.
Does it exist?
Does it exist? Is it awful? Is it actually surprisingly? I need to know. Maybe there's a saltiness to this. Maybe we'll get lucky.
Maybe.
So, you ready to try this out and see where we go with it?
I sure am.
All right. We could talk about the fact that this is a very caramel colored
Colored beer.
in general. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's
It's a
weird
beautiful
because
color.
it is. I don't know if you can see it on there, but it's very red. And you can actually, the glass may not be the best for this,
Right,
but
Taylor Swift,
you can
calm down
see,
with the red.
I don't know what that means. You can see through it very well. Like I can
It's not cloudy at all. It's very
no,
clear.
It is very clear and crisp, and I'll be honest, it looks like you're about to drink cream soda.
Kind of does. Mine has a little bit more mine's a little more bubbly.
It is. Well, it smells, big surprise, like ale, but I can kind of get a little bit of the creme brulee caramely scent in there.
I'm gonna drink it. I'm going for it.
Well, I think that's the whole purpose of this thing.
Okay.
It tastes like a stout to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't get stout.
I get stout because it's got sort of that chocolatey feel to it.
I don't get that. I get the caramel.
Do
It's
ya?
definitely caramel. There's not even a hint of like a salty finish.
No. Go get a shaker and add some to this. Have you ever tried salting a beer?
I have not.
Me either.
Obviously. We've never
Get a
had
little-
salty beer.
Get a little rim around the top like a margarita glass. It's like when you drink like a Christmas ale. You get the rim on the top, but it's cinnamon.
I hate the rim.
Why is that?
I don't know. It ruins the flavor of the beer for me.
No.
It's
Well-
too sweet.
We'll
revisit this in December. Caramely for sure. There's a lot of caramel.
It is.
I like it.
It's a light flavor. It's a smooth flavor. It's not overpowering. I mean, it's very easy to drink it.
Yes, it is a very easy drinker. It does kind of, I feel like, bridge that gap between like fall and winter kind of beers. Like it,
Yeah.
I think for the same reason you kind of get stout vibes from it.
Hmm.
It kind of has a little bit of both worlds. Like it's not so light, but it's not like heavy.
So it's medium. It's not light,
Sure.
but it's not heavy.
Like this is kind of perfect. Okay, so what percentage? What do you think we're sitting at? Ish.
Percentage wise, see, I'm getting skewed because it tastes like a stout, so I want to say like some outrageous number here. It's an ale, so it's got to be lower. I don't know that I've ever had a real high ale, right? Say on the high end of it, 6.2.
7%.
7%.
7%.
All right. All right.
It's a little deceiving.
Yeah.
Definitely a deceiving beer.
It's got some weight to it, I guess.
Yeah. I don't get the popcorn vibes, but I definitely get like those caramel
Yeah.
notes.
The caramel notes, I don't know about the creme brulee or the salted,
Well,
but
it's kind of the caramel, but the salted is I don't get as much of.
you missed this. It's a collaboration with Garrett's Popcorn Shops.
I did miss that.
Look at that.
Wah, wah. Sorry.
Very good music scene.
Now the music scene, I'm insanely jealous of the music scene. They've spit out some good artists. They've held on to some really good artists that have stayed pretty local. So that's
I like how we say stay pretty local. They're like the fifth or sixth biggest city in the entire country. They just stick to their roots. They like to stick to that city of 30 million people.
No.
Just stay real low and
I've got
grassroots.
I've even got my shirt on. I got my
Yes, you do.
my Chicago music shirt on here. Some Lucky Boys. I have to go there if I want to see them, but a lot of people travel to Chicago to see them.
See the bean.
See the bean.
Mm-hmm.
Bean's
And
fun. Oh,
the fountain.
the fountain. Oh, I was
Married with Children. I guess we'll just go out of 10 this time.
A rating out of 10. Yeah.
What else would be out of 10? What do we do out of 10?
I thought you were giving it a 10. It's not like my normal style of beer, but I very much enjoy it. I'm gonna give it like a 7.5.
All right. I can give it that. I'm gonna say 5.
Okay.
It's right in the middle for me.
You're salty that it wasn't salty.
It's not salty enough, so I'm going to be salty instead. It's good, but it's light because it's an ale. There's not a ton of flavor there. And the only flavor I'm kind of getting is just like, it's almost like a watered down stout, like I said.
See, I'm getting all the caramel. I'm getting caramel for days.
Anything you want to recommend that you've been drinking that was not here?
Oh gosh. The Jolly Pumpkin La Roja cherry.
What's the cherry?
It was like creac. I don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
a fancy word for cherry.
It's got a cat on it. Like a very fancy
The La
looking
Roja
cat.
cat. Like he looks like Puss in Boots a little bit.
Yeah, he's a very fancy cat.
Yeah.
I thought it had a little bit of a wine taste to it myself.
Yeah. I think it's from the cherry.
Yeah, probably.
But they're like some true like wild fermented sours. So I really enjoyed it.
It was tart. The thing that I had, we were actually close to downtown, and we stopped by North High Brewing because we'd never been there before. And they had one called Cucumber Crop, and that was real good. It was real light, and it was strange because there was like a legitimate cucumber taste to it.
The smell was even really like
Yeah.
it was very strong cucumber.
Yeah, it was normally if you get anything cucumber, it's usually very watery and light, but this was like,
It's kind of like an aftertaste.
yeah, it was like a very distinct cucumber taste. All right.
I had nothing else.
I don't have much else either. Feel free and comment on the videos and whatever else, you've seen all the YouTube videos where people yell at you to...
Smash that subscribe button.
I don't
You
know.
don't have to.
Don't.
You
but
can if you want to, but don't smash it though. That
No.
always seems violent. Like
Smash your keyboard till it doesn't work
he's
anymore.
gonna break something.
Put your face through the monitor. Yeah. Of course, YouTube's algorithm doesn't want to put people out unless there's a lot of interaction on videos. So
We love any feedback we get.
Absolutely. We clearly need as much feedback as we can get
Yeah.
on these things.
Tell us everything we're doing wrong.
Yes. Tell us how much you dislike us and how we're terrible. And
We are unlikable people, and that's okay. We can take it.
we're used to that. We knew that going into this.
100%.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for stopping, and we will see you next time. Bye.
And then I pooped in the neighbor's yard.
Is that why you didn't pick it up? Because you didn't use the bag?
No, I didn't pick my poop up out of the neighbor's yard.
That's why you have the spare bag.
Right.